I'm guessing today is going to be one of the videos that you'll be watching more than not, because this is a difficult thing, and I would expect it to be difficult, and I would expect to want to look at how to do things and what are we looking for. For each problem, I'm going to try and show you multiple ways. I'm actually going to go through all 6 problems on your homework side of the worksheet because I know that that was the difficult part, and that's you're just going to want to see how to do it and how to set it up, and so I'm going to actually show you. But so all 6 problems will be on here. I'm probably not going to get to the answer, but I'm going to help you set it up, and I'm going to show you as many ways as I can to set it up, just so that you can work with all the different ways and see everything. So here's problem 1. Todd's dad cut 12 slices of mango. Todd ate 4 of them. Then Todd's mom cut 6 more slices. How many slices of mango were left? So first thing we're going to do is we're going to underline the question. And the question says, how many slices of mango were left? This is what we need to figure out. This is what we're trying to find. Okay. Now, they start by cutting 12 slices. And so I'm just taking notes. Okay. Then he ate 4 slices. Then Todd's mom cut 6 more slices. Okay, so now we're trying to figure out in the end how many are left. Okay, so one of the things the book does is has you write out the problem in the order it came in. So it starts out by saying it cut 12 slices, so we have 12. Then he ate 4, so what does that mean? Ate 4 means you're taking away 4, so we minus 4. Then Todd's mom cuts 6 more slices. And if you cut 6 more slices, that means you're adding into the problem. So we add 6. And so then we just figure out what is that, because they're asking for the total, how many slices are in the end. So what is that? Okay, so that's one thing we can do. Another thing we can do is we can do a math mountain. Okay, and so remember on the math mountain, the total is at the top. So we cut 12, but then he ate 4 of them. So then we have to ask ourselves what's left after we eat 4. Okay? So then once we eat 4 of them, we figure out what goes in there, and so hopefully, you're coming up with 8. So now we can talk about, well, he has 8. And now we're saying, well, if he has 8 and he includes 6 more, we're adding on 6 more, we can get 14. And these are multi-step problems, so we're expecting actually to do 2 different things as we go through this. Okay, oh, I told you I won't come up with the answer, and here I am coming up with the answer for you. But so this is one way to set it up, to talk about it. Again, we take our notes, we underline our questions so we know what we're asking. We set up our equation either the way it reads, or we can talk about math mountains. This one, if I was going to do math mountain here, I would say, well, I have 8, and then I have 6 more. So my question is, what do I get total? Which is where that 14 comes from. Okay, the next one says Jennifer picked 3 daffodils, 9 daisies, and some tulips. So I'm going to just start taking notes. So we have 3 daffodils, 9 daisies, and some tulips. I have a question mark, tulips. Okay, altogether she picked 16 flowers. So we know that they, let's just write total, 16 total. And I'm going to underline the question, how many tulips did she pick? So here's our question. We want to know, how many tulips did she pick? All right, so first off, we could go through and just write it down. We have 3 daffodils plus 9 daisies plus something we don't know equals 16. Okay, so we can start figuring that out and work it out that way. Or we can do a little bit of a math mountain. We know we have 16 total. The 3 and the 9 gives me 12, so I have 12 flowers here. The rest of them are daisies, so what's left? What do I have to get there to figure out how many tulips I have? Sorry, the rest are tulips. And then we have something called a comparison bar. Now, comparison bar, what we do is we do the total. The total is 16. And then we have a section that's going to be the 3. And we have a section that's going to be the 9. And then we have a section for the tulips, which we don't know. Okay, or I guess your teacher would probably put a question mark here. And so we're saying, what would that question mark be? What should that be to fill that out? Okay, so those are 3 sets, 3 setups. Here's one, here's another, and here's a third. And so now you figure out, are you adding, subtracting? How are you figuring out that answer? Again, talk about the problem and work it out and see what makes the most sense. Okay, problem 3. Alex has 14 books in his bag. So I'm going to write Alex has 14 books. Angela has 6 fewer books in her bag than Alex. So Angela has 6 fewer than Alex? How many books are in the 2 bags altogether? Okay, so let's see here. Alex has 14 books in his bag. So if we're going to write this out, and we want to figure out all bags together. So basically we're taking how many books Alex has plus how many books Angela has to figure out how many total they have, right? Now, if I want to figure out Angela's, because I know Alex's is 14. I need to figure out what Angela has. I actually need to figure out this as a number. So that's where I'm going to start working out. Can I figure out Angela's? Well, we know Angela has fewer than Alex. So Alex is going to be the total. So let's say that's 14. Well, we know that there's 6 that aren't in there. So over here, this is going to be where Angela's are. Okay, Angela's plus 6 would equal 14, right? Or we could say it's 14. It's 6 fewer means we take away 6, so we can figure out how many is that. Okay? And so once we figure that out, then we can go back to our problem and say, well, Alex is 14 plus Angela's whatever you just figured out will give us the total number, and that'll tell us our answer. So I would probably look at maybe a math mountain for this one. Okay, because you know that Angela's plus 6 would be 14 because of the 6 fewer, and you can talk about 6 fewer means. Okay? Problem number 4, we've got Pedro has 13 marbles yesterday. 7 were red and the rest were green. Ooh, this screams math mountain to me, right? So we have 13 marbles. 7 of them were red. These are the red ones. And the rest were green, and I don't know how many of those there were. Today, he gave 4 of his green marbles to his sister. How many green marbles does Pedro have left? So we're going to underline our question. How many green marbles does he have left? So first off, before I can figure out how many green marbles he has left, I have to first figure out how many green marbles did he have originally. So what does this number have to be so that I can figure out how many green marbles he had? 7 plus what number gives me 13? So we'll come up with 6. And once we do that, then we go back to this part. He says today he gave 4 of his green marbles to his sister. If he had 6 of them and he gave 4 of them to his sister, are we adding or are we subtracting 4? And if he's giving 4 of them away, we're going to take away 4. And so then we can figure out how many he has left. So it's a math mountain. The other thing is we can do a comparison bar. He had 13 total. 7 of them were red. The rest were green, so then we can figure out how many were green. And once we know that number, then we can go back to that taking away part. Okay. Problem 5. There were 17 animals in the shelter. 8 were dogs, the rest were cats. Once again, we can do our comparison bar, where we have 17. And then the idea is the 2 bars are going to join up to make the full bar. So 8 were dogs, and the rest were cats. Or we can do a math mountain. We have a total of 17. We break it up. 8 of them were dogs, and the rest were cats. Okay. Today, more cats were brought in. So whatever we got for the cats, we can figure it out at this point. Whatever we get for cats, okay, whatever we got here, whatever number that was, okay, I'll just write down cats, more were brought in. So we brought in some more cats. Now there are 11 cats. So we can even do another math mountain. There's 11 cats, right? Whatever number you figured out here goes here. And then we can figure out this number here for how many more. And so the question is, how many cats were brought into the shelter today? Sorry, I typed this really fast. Okay, how many cats were brought in the shelter today? And so whatever we get on this remaining part of our math mountain is going to answer that question. So once again, we can set this up with our math mountain. We have 17 total. Break it up into dogs and cats. Figure out the cats. Then we go on to the next question. Today, more cats were brought in. Okay, now there's 11 cats. So we have a total of 11. We have how many we had originally plus the ones brought in today. And once we figure that out, we can answer the question, how many cats were brought in the shelter today? Now I'm going kind of fast. I'm meaning this for you so that you can help your child. So if a child's watching this, it's probably too fast, and you're going to have to slow it down and kind of take your time thinking through it. The last question, this should say Zal picked 12 cherries from one tree and 3 from another. All right, so we can talk about how it's written. 12 cherries from one tree and 3 from another. That's adding. Okay. He picked 8 more cherries than Karen picked. How many cherries did Karen pick? All right. So let's see here. He has 12 and 3, so we can talk about what does that make, right? Now, we can talk about a comparison bar. We have 12 and 3. Let's talk about that being 15, right? This is how many Zal picked. Okay. He picked 8 more than Karen. So Karen's bar is going to be less than Zal's, right? This is Karen's bar. And we know that what's left over is going to be that 8 because he picked this many more than Karen did. So we can figure out then what is Karen's. We can also do a math mountain saying if he picked 15 total, take away the 8 that she didn't pick, what's left over for how many she did pick. Okay, and this would be Karen's. Okay, so the 2 parts here, because this is multi-steps, the 2 parts here, the first part is figuring this out. Okay, the first problem, the first sentence is 12 cherries from one tree and 3 from another. We have to put those together to figure out how many total he picked. And then again, the question, underline our question, how many cherries did Karen pick? So we're focused in then on what is this box right here, or what is this part of the math mountain here. I hope this helped. We're going to be asking you later, do these help? Are they too fast, too slow? Do they give enough information? So we definitely want to hear back from you so that we can make these as good as possible. All right, good luck.